pledge allegiance to the United States.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Any public comments at this time? Yes?
Hi, my name is Steve Lampert. My wife and I bought the house at 22 Academy Street, just catty corner to the school. And, we've observed Pfizer's taking down the building, et cetera, and I just wanted to give you an update on that. 3 weeks ago, they did move the fence back away from the sidewalk. I spent a couple hours picking up metal there. They left remnants of the new fence. I found some stakes where the old fence was that are there. There's a lot of wood, and I picked up an awful lot of styrofoam from the old building. My purpose in being here tonight is to let you know the comments that I've seen and observed and heard from people. Overall, they think that the village owns it, which I'm told is not the case. With that in mind, there's a big hole in back of the existing planting that is there that needs to be filled in. There's a lot of dirt around there that needs to be reconfigured. There are 3 signs out there that are no longer needed, along with a pole right by the sidewalk that needs to be removed, as well as one of those big red things that was over one of the hydrants. My purpose in being here is to ask the village if you would, consider mowing that, because it hasn't been mowed in, I think, since the middle of July. Whether you jump in and do it or not, on an ongoing basis, I'm gonna be out there cleaning it up, because I don't wanna see it become an eyesore, because there are plantings out there that don't belong. It's gonna be invasive as far as some of the plants that are coming up. And also there's a tree on the property that really needs to be removed. So I'm gonna be out there if you see me with a rake. I've talked to some former Pfizer employees, Aris employees, that are gonna be giving me a hand. But I'd like to see the village keep that in mind as far as mowing, because Pfizer's just gonna be, forget about it for sure. And it would be a nice addition to the village to have another green space. Thank you.
I think we can get in contact with CRS and ask them what their plans on doing with the cleanup, or keeping that clean or whatever. I think we ought to write them a letter.
Or I can call them.
Or
Yeah,
call them and stuff.
I've got Chris Wilson's phone number and his email. I can also harass
I'll
him.
be stern to them too, that, this is no matter, it should be kept up every week,
Do you have a pile of the stuff, so I can go take a photo of it?
Yeah, I put everything kind of by one of the trees, and some of the stuff is by the trash can out there. And some of the plants I'm going to dig up because they shouldn't be there. You've got sumac growing in there, and some maples coming up where they shouldn't, and some other weeds.
And the maples from it's not being mowed right now.
Right.
So I have to go get a photo of
Thank
that,
you.
because their crew should have cleaned that up.
Yeah, thank you.
Anyone else with comments? Susan, did you write that down for me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, thank you. So, minutes of the previous meeting. Any corrections or anything need to be made?
Make a motion to the minutes be accepted as written.
Second.
All in favor, vote aye.
Aye.
Any additions or deletions to the bills as presented?
No, there is not.
I just got one question. Arsen, on the shuffleboard stuff, did we get the grant money for that?
Yeah.
And we're just paying for it? Okay, that's all I have.
I make a motion, we pay the bills.
Second. All in favor, correspondence?
No correspondence tonight.
So we've got mayoral appointments here. The only real changes are, I'm taking budget officer and IEP officer. And it has no real changes, so motion to favor, motion to approve this on a slate. I probably worded that wrong.
A second.
Any second?
Yeah, I second.
Yeah.
Oh, you
Seconded.
second, okay. All in favor, vote aye.
Aye.
Commission appointments. The only changes are placing Brian Pelkey where
Dark.
Tom Dart was. Any changes anyone want to make to what they were doing before, or?
Well, we can talk about it and stuff like that and see who wants what, whatever,
Yeah,
Right.
and stuff. to see.
we can do that at a future meeting too, if people want to think about it, because we can always change these.
Mhm.
Make a motion to approve the,
Make a motion to approve these, just a slate of appointments.
I'll second.
All in favor, vote aye.
Aye.
And this is the policy updates, which you all showed up early to read, which is nice. Any comments on the policy updates? If there's nothing, I have moving to approve them.
You need a roll call vote?
Not for the policies, no.
No, only for the resolution.
Okay. I make a motion, we accept them.
Second. All in favor, vote aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, resolution 2020-16 to set rate for mileage reimbursement, which is set to the IRS, yeah, here it is, set to 0.575 cents a mile, or 57.5 cents a mile. And this has to be approved with a roll call. Any comments on it?
What was the, how much of an increase is it?
It's actually a decrease,
Oh, it's decreased?
right? Isn't this down from last year?
Half a cent.
0.5% down.
Has that decrease?
As long as we're maintaining.
Yeah, it's the IRS regulation rate, so.
Motion to accept?
Motion to accept, roll call. No-
Whose motion to accept, I'm sorry? I missed it, who made the motion to
I'll make
accept?
the motion.
Okay,
I'll second it.
okay, thank you.
Roll call, Benny,
Aye?
Dale,
Aye.
Jamie,
Aye.
Brian,
Aye.
and the mayor votes aye. Okay, so do you have anything, Arno?
Yes, I'd like to thank the electric crew and the street crew for a nice job done on the tree cutting. Around the village, they cut 3 or 4 trees down that were pretty well dead. And also, are we gonna have time to plant the trees, Susan? When are they coming in?
They don't come in until October.
Wow,
Yeah, they have to be dormant so that they can dig them up, I guess.
yeah.
So
Makes
as soon as I know when they're going to dig them up and send them to us, I'll let the Public Works crew know.
Yeah,
But I think after,
they probably won't last the winter if they plant them.
well, they're supposed to be planted in the fall.
Yeah, this is late fall
Probably should be planted
though. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
If
Yeah.
you dig them up dormant and plant them dormant, they should be dormant through the winter,
Yeah.
and then
But,
come back to life in the spring.
all right. Well, anyhow, and also about the clock, are they gonna give us a call when the
Yes.
clock is done?
Yes, it's ordered, they'll call when it's ready for pickup or delivery.
Now, are we gonna be able to go over there to pick that up, or
That remains to be seen. When they call me, I will contact the border and find out what's going on.
Oh, okay. All right. That's all I have, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you.
That's fine.
Jamie Gatlin?
I got a couple things. Eric Gooley, he has reached his 1 year of employment, and he will start preparing for his license exam. Either it's gonna be online or if he has to go take it. Park grant update, the remainder of the park grant is underway. Fences have been taken down on tennis court, and tennis court is being resurfaced, and the rest of the work will take 2 or 3 weeks to complete. And I make a motion to direct the treasurer to prorate the September salary of mayor and trustee between the previous mayor and the new mayor, and salary of previous trustee and new trustee due to the unprecedented start of the new terms of office in the middle of the month due to the elections.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And the mold that was in the locker room, Susan has information on that.
Yeah, we had talked about this before and wanted to get some quotes and talk with somebody who knew a little bit more about mold than we did. So I spoke with a mold removal expert at KAS about whether we needed to do some testing first to see if it was black mold. So he told me that black mold is a particular type of mold that sort of outgasses a toxin, makes a lot of people sick. But when you have mold, whether it's black mold or not, there are New York State regulations about remediation. So it doesn't really matter what type of mold it is, because all mold produces spores. And the spores are allergenic. Different people are more or less allergic to different types of mold. But doing the testing to figure out what type of mold before you start is not necessary, because whoever does remediation is going to come in and treat it as if it's the most dangerous with their PPE and their cleaning agents. So I got a couple quotes, and in essence for the testing, KAS comes in $500 under the other company I spoke with just for the pre and post testing, and that company did not include a remediation plan, so that would be extra. So KAS comes in significantly lower. And also, we've worked with KAS in the village before. They did the testing for the asbestos remediation in the library. So we do know that they are a good company. Looked into some of the New York State regulations on mold remediation in a public place. You can do a remediation yourself if you have someone who is qualified on your staff to do that remediation, which we don't. We had talked about, was there a way to do it cheaper than have a company do it? And we don't have anybody qualified to do an assessment, to write a remediation plan, or to do the remediation. So with that in mind, I would like one of you to make a motion to accept the quote from KAS.
I'll make that
And
motion.
their bid includes both testing and remediation.
Testing a remediation plan, and then post-testing. The people who do the testing are generally not the company
Yeah, they're
that
not the
does the
company that does it.
remediation, right,
Okay.
because then they'll be testing that their own work was done sufficiently.
Yeah, that's fine.
But they will help us to get a contractor to do the actual cleaning.
Okay.
What was the total bid on that, Susan?
The total bid on this was $780 for the pre-assessment, the remediation plan, and the post-assessment, versus the other one, which was $1350 for the pre and post testing without a remediation plan.
I'll second Benny's motion.
Okay.
All in favor, vote aye.
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 That's all I have to
Anything from you, Dale?
Nope, I have nothing this evening.
Okay. You, Brian?
Yes, first I want to thank the residents for giving me the opportunity to serve on the board. I do appreciate the support that I was showing out there. I have 3 things on the agenda. Mike LeBlanc has been trying to put a mini split system in the fire department for air conditioning and heat, and he's only been able to get 1 quote So he asked me to reach out to a couple contractors and see if we can get a second quote for the IEP to fund these mini splits that were supposed to go in the fire station last year. Unfortunately, with the COVID, everything got put on the back burner, so I'm gonna work with Mike and see if I can get them quotes and we'll forward them to Jed and to the rest of the board.
Well, we brought that up once before, and the mayor was supposed to do that.
He asked me to take care of it, so
Yep.
I volunteered that,
Mhm.
I'm retired, so I
Yep.
have time during the day, I can call some contractors and we'll get some quotes.
And apparently Beth didn't do it, so.
The second thing on my agenda is, I know that you talked in the past about the tree trimming throughout the village. We're supposed to go out and look at some trees and determine if they're bad. There's some lifting up sidewalks, there's some that are actually starting to damage the road. I'd like to at least have permission for at least a couple of us to go out and work with the public works and assess what trees that need to be taken care of. There's some that are touching the buildings down on Main Street that need to be groomed a little bit. I mean, I think in the past, we used to trim them, and the ones that had to be really removed, we cut them. We try not to cut a tree unless we can't trim it or it's
Poses a hazard.
Right. So I'd like to see at least a plan go forward and addressing, because there was a couple of trees that were split and fell in the park, and one down here, and Ethan took care of them, but if it ever fell on somebody, it could be a liability to us, so. I don't know, if we can get somebody, I have time during the day, or Benny would go around with me, we can make a list, and we can report back to the board and to the public works and see if they can take care of these trees for us.
Yep.
Take a look
Wherever,
Take a look at the trees that he's looking at too.
yes, the one up on Maple and, the last thing I have is, has been brought to my attention by some fire department members, is they're concerned about the flow of the traffic in the parking lot here. With everything that's going on, soccer season, and people are coming down to use the park more, walking, there's a lot of cross traffic that is really expedited to get out of here. And they're afraid that a child is gonna get hit. So what they proposed was, maybe we could look into making this a two-way entrance, where it's almost like a road back here, so you have two ways to go out rather than crossing. And I think we can get maybe the county engineer to come and at least look at it with us and give us some advice to maybe slow, I don't know if it's because of the new blacktop out there that, people drive faster because the speed bumps aren't there. I don't know how the board feels if, having a two exit to come out of here. Cause you have almost 25 feet up in the front, wide.
And most are ignoring the entry and exit signs anyway, just go
Right,
out
so
whatever way they want.
It would be some striping and a few signs, that's all. We could get the county to put like a double yellow stripe down to the new tarmac and put two white stripes and have people go in and out that exit, because when it comes time to clear this place out, you get a lot of flow. You get the stragglers that come in that wanna park, they'll park, I don't know how.
Not only that,
Maybe we
got
can
the
get some signage too, because we did make a thoroughfare.
through fairway. Yeah.
Right,
Go
for like,
that way, so make sure that people know that they can also exit that way.
for like
They
the
can't
hockey,
come in that way, but
right, for like the hockey games.
Right,
and
exactly,
The
yeah.
big sporting events, yeah,
that
definitely.
was our,
Give them more exits.
that was our intent, and, to kind of alleviate all the
Yeah,
parking flow, some people can go out that way and it'd be quicker for them.
but is it noticed that when you leave, that you see a lot of cars go across
They
the
do.
parking areas?
Yeah, if we could, even if,
I mean, it's just something to think
if we
about.
could put even arrows on the thing, would be.
Yeah. So,
Or even some signs over here on the pavement, exit, and then put the.
Yeah.
an
What
arrow
about
or
those
something.
concrete bumpers? Mark the parking areas off for the concrete bumpers. Those little concrete bumpers, those little things you see in some parking lots,
Yeah,
get a bunch of those and mark the parking spots off, so that way they can't just drive across the entire parking lot without tearing up their undercarriage or something.
Well, a lot of people would probably drive over the top of them.
Yeah,
And
and a lot of
then-
people have trucks that can
and
do it.
then come plowing season, you'd have to plow around these things. I mean,
You can
I don't
pick
know
them
if we can just look at different designs
Yeah.
and think about maybe we
Maybe
can get back to these residents and.
Striping or something,
You know,
At least all the striping's gonna help. The striping that we did is gonna help.
yeah, definitely,
right,
definitely.
Yeah.
you know.
What we should do is,
Get some more,
stripe
get
the
some
rest of it.
arrows and,
yeah,
you know,
And you can get those concrete bumpers, so you can pick them up with a forklift and just put them to the side for plowing in the winter.
I don't know if we ought to put bumpers out there.
yeah.
Like
people
I said, people are gonna trip over them, they're gonna,
Yeah, the tripping.
everything,
Drive
You
over.
got a point there.
you know. Better off to leave the parking lot the way it is, flat.
Yeah, just maybe put, like I said, either put some markings down, probably
Yeah.
would be the best thing, just, you know,
Maybe at least, you know,
exit, enter or something, you
Yeah.
know, mark it to
we
where,
can do a little investigating and maybe,
see what we can do.
especially if we can get like, the county engineer to come up and, you know, through shared services, you know, it's not like
Yeah.
it's gonna cost us anything. He'll come up and at least advise us what he would recommend, or maybe it's just a new, you know, point, but at least we can let the people know that we are concerned also with them.
Yep.
Because I don't want to see something today.
No, definitely.
Any other reports?
No, not this week.
Open meeting to the public comment, any questions?
Make a motion, we adjourn?
Second?
All in favor, say aye.
All right.